party people. My name's Chris, and I'm the Bookaholic. All right, today I want to talk to you about scary books. Now, everybody just get yourself together here. First of all, what might be scary to me may not be scary to you. That's okay, all right? So you don't have to have a conniption if I think something's scary and you don't. Or if you think something's scary and I don't. In other words, you be you, I'll be me. Waka waka. All right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to highlight a few authors that over the years I've enjoyed and a couple that I haven't read yet just to see if you've read them or what you think. And then maybe you can let me know some authors that kind of just got you a little bit freaked out. Now, truth be told, I like I said, I don't like being scared. But every now and then I get a little itch that says maybe you do like to be scared. So then I try something out, and then I'm terrified, and then I realize, not so much. When I was a kid, I remember coming downstairs, my mom was watching Amityville Horror, and it terrified me, basically. I still need therapy, probably from that. And then I chose one time to watch The Exorcist when I was a young kid, and I thought, okay, I'm pretty much, I'm so screwed right now. That's just ridiculous. I can't even function. So those two, like just even from an early age cinematically, I was like, forget it. There's no way. And then, you know, people who have read, of course, right, the books, The Exorcist or Amityville Horror, you know, they can be even more haunting. My big scare, you know, that I kind of tolerated and I thought, oh, gosh, that was really good. And that got me Stephen King with The Shining and It. Daniel Barnett does a great job of making me feel pretty uncomfortable. So there are a couple of scenes in his books, the Nightmareland Chronicles, that series that were like, what? But there are some authors I've been curious about for a while. So I'm going to just show you a bunch of books, and you tell me if you've liked them. Have you been scared by them? Do you think they're really good? And some of these that I picked up were probably referenced from Leslie over there at the Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative. She's pretty awesome. She does a lot of great stuff with horror books. So anyhow, here we go. We're starting strong. We're going to start strong. Here's the first author, John Saul, okay, Hellfire. I have a couple by John Saul, Hellfire, and then this is Nathaniel. Now, I have not read either of these. For 100 years, the old mill has stood silent, though the people of Westover, Massachusetts, remember that horrifying flames claimed 11 young lives there. For young Beth Rogers, friendless since her mother's recent marriage to wealthy Philip Sturgis, the mill is a haven from loneliness, a secret place where she spends hours talking to an invisible friend named Amy. Okay, we got a problem already, I can tell. A little girl who had once worked under deplorable conditions in the mill and had died in a blazing inferno. Now, Philip, the last member of that once powerful family that owned the mill, is about to transform the property into a shopping mall and unleash an elemental fury waiting to claim revenge. No one is safe from the supernatural horror that invades the town, not even Beth, who alone holds the key to their salvation. All right, here we go. Nathaniel, again, I don't know. Have you read John Saul? Following the tragic death of her husband, Janet Hall comes to isolated Prairie Bend to begin a new life with her young son, Michael. As the summer stretches on, it looks as if peace and contentment are finally theirs until the deaths begin, and one name is on everyone's lips, Nathaniel. Who is Nathaniel? I'm going to say right now, he's probably the devil. For 100 years, the people of Prairie Bend have whispered the name. Some say he's simply a folktale created to frighten children. First of all, what kind of weirdos want to frighten children? Oh yeah, lots of them. Some swear he is a terrifying spirit returned to avenge the past, but to young Michael, Nathaniel is the voice that beckons to him across the prairie night. Get the hell away from Nathaniel, Michael. The voice that lures him to the old barn where he has been forbidden to play. And the irresistible voice he will follow faithfully beyond the edge of terror. Okay, first of all, Hannah. I might already be freaked out. Here, let's talk about this guy right here, shall we? Dean Koontz. Now, I've read a number of Dean Koontz, but the two I picked I have not yet read. Why would you do that, Chris? I don't know. Probably because they were right in my reach, you know? They're right here, yo. I got all my Dean Koontz right here on the bottom shelf of my desk. This is called TikTok. TikTok. See, Dean Koontz, man, he knows what's up. He's aware of TikTok. TikTok. All right, so prepare to be terrified by a superb middle-of-the-night sneak-up behind you suspense thriller. Okay, that's what San Francisco Chronicle says. Well, 30-year-old detective novelist Tommy Phan has just become the proud owner of the bright aqua Corvette. But as he drives his new purchase home on a balmy California day, he is suddenly seized by a teeth-chattering chill and the feeling that he is being followed by something sinister. And when Tommy arrives home, a mysterious rag doll with cross stitches for eyes and mouth and one over its heart is sitting on his doorstep. Tommy takes the doll inside. What the hell, Tommy? Come on! Are you nuts? That evening, he is horrified when its fabric rips open, revealing a beating heart and a blinking green eyes. Burn that doll, Tommy. Come on, man. It evolves into a hulking, formidable creature bent on destroying him. Okay. On Tommy's computer screen, it writes, "The deadline is dawn." With his new friend Dell, a beautiful, strangely intuitive blonde, Tommy frantically flees. He must discover what this fierce enemy is and why it's pursuing him before his very life. TikTok's away. It's the devil, Tommy. Get that thing out. Burn that doll. The other one, The House of Thunder. Thunder. Okay. Little AC/DC there. Digga. Right. Dare I read the inner flap? I dare. Originally published under the pseudonym Lee Nichols, here is a heart-pounding novel. See, Dean Koontz, he's writing so many books, he has to have a fake Lee Nichols? Lee Nichols? Nee Nichols? Let's move on. In a cavern called the House of Thunder. I'm already coughing. Susan Thornton watched in horror as her lover was beaten to death in a college hazing. What? During the next several years, the 4 young men involved in the fraternity rite also died violently. Or did they? 12 years later, Susan is left in a coma after a car accident. Man, Susan is... she's like a catalyst for bad things. She finally awakens to find herself living in a nightmare. For there, in the hospital, she comes face to face with the same 4 men who killed her boyfriend so many years ago. But how could that be when they're supposed to be dead? Are they phantoms, or has Susan plunged into the abyss of madness? With the help of a handsome young doctor, Susan struggles to keep her sanity. But as she searches for the truth, she soon discovers that she's the target of a diabolical conspiracy and can trust no one if she is to stay alive. Or is she alive? That's what I'm wondering. Maybe she's dead. It's not a spoiler because I don't even know. Let's move on. All right, the next 3 books are from an author I've never read. But I'm telling you, I've been terrified of this guy, and I've never read his books, but I've just seen his books, and they creep me out. Volume 1 of Book of Bloods by, Clive Barker, okay? Volume 2 of Clive Barker's Book of Bloods. Now, These, they creep me out. I'm not going to lie. To a butcher, the carving of flesh, it's already starting out freaky, is an art. As an artist, he knows where to slice the muscle, how to sever the clinging sinew from the bone. He studies the carcass like a lever. What? He knows how to section the dripping meat, dissecting, cutting, tearing. I've not really met any butchers that are that into, I was going to say their meat, but my junior high mind just had a meltdown. Clive Barker knows a few tricks, too. He knows how to lance his readers with apprehension. What? Anyway, there's that one. Second, to a surgeon cutting... What? To a surgeon, cutting the human flesh is an art. What the heck? Muscle and flesh are his canvas. What? There's some... What? All right, we're gonna set those to the side. This is the one I think I saw in a store, Mr. Be Gone, and it freaked me. Mr. Be Gone marks the long-awaited return of Clive Barker, the great master of macabre, to the classic horror story. This bone-chilling novel in which a medieval devil speaks directly to his reader, his tone murderous one moment, seductive the next, is a never-before-published memoir allegedly penned in the year 1438. The demon has embedded himself in the very words of the tale of terror, turning the book itself into a dangerous object, laced with menace, only too ready to break free and exert its power. I'm already freaked out by this book. The frustrating too is as the marble inlay. I mean, it's kind of beautiful. I mean, this is the kind of book I would want to read, but I'm already terrified of it. Like, at least with C.S. Lewis's The Screw Tape Letter, you knew that the bad guys were the bad guys here. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little afraid if Clive Barker makes the bad guy the hero. I'm in trouble. Have you read these? I'm already creeped out by Clive Barker. All right, here's another one. I can't tell if this is young adult or if this is big adult. Adam Caesar, or Cesare, forgive me, Clown in the Cornfield. Well, I love everything about that, Clown in the Cornfield. Here, where I live up in central New York, we have some cool little, corn mazes and some awesome, almost like haunted, hay rides and stuff like that. So the cornfield and the clown idea, I can see that. Anyway, the one that I did like, that I had mentioned, and I read this a long time ago, was It. That was so phenomenal and creepy, and it definitely scarred me for life in some not so bad ways. Anyway, I didn't read the insert for the clown thing. Maybe I should. I'm not going to read the insert for all of them, but so when Quinn and her father moved to a tiny town with a weird clown for a mascot, they're looking for a fresh start. But ever since the town's only factory shut down, Kettle Springs has been cracked in half. Most of the town believes that the kids are to blame. After all, the juniors and the seniors in Spring High are the ones who threw the party where Arthur Hill's daughter died. And they're the ones who set the abandoned factory on fire and who spent all their time posting pranks on YouTube, and they have no respect and no idea what it means to work hard. Stupid kids. For the kids, it's the other way around, and now Kettle Springs is caught in a constant battle between old and new, tradition and progress. It's a fight that looks like it will destroy the town until one homicidal clown with a pork pie hat and a red nose decides to end it for good. What the hell? Let's see. I think I heard about these from Chris over at A Fictional Escapist, and at least the author. So I'd never read anything by this author before, but Black Mouth by Ronald Malfi, and then Come With Me. So whatever. I don't know anything about these. I'll just read the one. Let's look at the Black Mouth. That's the one that I kind of feel like I've seen around a bit. For nearly 2 decades, James Warren has been running from darkness. He's haunted by a traumatic childhood and the guilt of having disappeared from his disabled brother's life. But then, a series of unusual events reunites him with his estranged brother and their childhood friends, and none of them can deny the sense of fate that has seemingly drawn them back together. Nor can they deny the memories of that summer so long ago, the strange magic taught to them by an even stranger man, and the terrible act that has followed them all into adulthood. So, in the light of new danger, they must confront their past by facing their futures and hunting down a man who may very well be a monster. That does sound kind of cool, and that has some kind of It vibes. I mean, you got the coming of age, kind of things that happen when you're young, and then you got to deal with it as you're, an adult. So that might be kind of cool. Stephen Graham Jones, and probably he's most known for The Only Good Indian. Stephen Graham Jones. So that was really popular a couple of years ago. But I've found some other books by him. Growing Up Dead in Texas. Right, My Heart is a Chainsaw. That's pretty popular right now. And then I don't know if this is the second part of it. Don't Fear the Reaper. So all of these are by the same author, and I've not I'm not familiar with him. So let's just check out My Heart is a Chainsaw. So you won't find a more hardcore 80s horror fan than high school senior Jay Daniels. I'm already all in. This is going to be my thing. And you won't find a place less supportive of girls who wear torn t-shirts and too much eyeliner than Proof Rock, nestled 8,000 feet up the mountain in Idaho, right alongside Indian Lake, home to both Camp Blood, site of a massacre 50 years ago, and as of this summer, Terra Nova, a second home celebrity camelot being carved out of the National Forest. So that's not the only thing that's getting carved up, though. Okay. This, Jade knows, is the start of a slasher, but what kind? Who's wearing the mask? So Jade's got an encyclopedic recall of every horror movie on the shelf, but will that help her survive? Can she get a final girl trained enough to stop all this from happening? Does she even want to? This novel, so, so there's that. That actually could be kind of cool. There's so many others I could show you. I mean, there's tons of like Grady Hendrix books that are pretty fun that would fit into the category. I mean, they're not terribly scary, but they're kind of good. And then, for you, maybe there's some authors that you just love. You're like, I love this guy. Like he's it. He's the one I go to get scared. These are just a few. So check it out. Let me know what you think. If you've read them and you think these are great, they fit the category of like freaking me out, like, then let me know. Like, if you've read these, let me know what you thought of them too, especially the Clive Barker. I'm so freaked out by him, man. I don't know. So anyhow, I don't like being freaked out and made to be afraid. So, or I don't seek that out. Let's just say that. So, anyway, let me know. Check out all the info below and the Amazon wish list, the Discord, whatever. But I love this stuff, and I hope you do too.